This is Showtime Sean Porter.
This is Earl Smith Jr.
Hey everyone, this is Jesse Vargas.
And you're watching True School Sports.
You're watching True School Sports.
And you're watching True School Sports.
Stay tuned.
Getting back to Panama Lewis, I'm going to say this, then I'm done with the Panama.
Okay.
Panama Lewis taught me something about a fighter. He's an alcoholic fighter. Yeah, this guy knew a whole lot of shit, boy. He's an alcoholic fighter. He said, yo! He doesn't call the fighter get a certain age, they drink a lot. He doesn't call the fighters alcoholics or the fighters drinking alcohol. At that particular stage of the fighter's career, or any fighter, at that particular stage of the mindset where they feel that they have to drink and this type of thing, you don't call it drinking and getting drunk. You call it medication.
Medication.
You call it the fighter needs his medication. He can't fight without his medication. Okay, so Panama taught me, Stacey, you over there hollering and screaming at this fighter because he's drinking and all this. He said, let me tell you, to him right now, though, that is not a drink. That's not a cocktail. That's medication. And I found it to be true. I found it to be very, very, very true. I'll give you an example. When Frankie Randall got ready to fight Julio Cesar Chavez, okay, I knew that Frankie Randall was a good fighter. In the meeting, they asked Don King, asked all of us, said, what do you think about Frankie Randall fighting Chavez? So everybody else, and all the ass kisses around them. Oh, because Chavez was the money maker. He paid all the bills. Well, Don, Chavez beat Frankie and he'll knock Frankie out and Julio this and Julio that. So he come around to me. So what you said, Stacey? I said, he ain't gonna beat him. Y'all looked at me like, did he just tell Don that his great fighter is gonna lose to this man, this alcoholic? I say, he's not gonna beat him, Don. First of all, he's too good. He can box too good, and he can punch, and he can think real good. I said, and Julio is a hell of a fighter, a hell of a body puncher. I said, but the sparring partner, the people that he used for sparring, they're sluggers, they're not boxers. He hasn't seen this type of speed and power before. I said, he can't beat him, he won't be able to beat him. So, the night before the fight, this is Vegas, I think it's MGM yet. The night before the fight, I say, where's Frankie Randall? And this is the night before the fight. They say, Frankie Randall is downstairs at the gambling table. I said, yeah, he's at the gambling table. Okay, it's the gambling table, that's fine. Okay, he's gambling. I know the average fighter should be wrestling. He's down there gambling. The thing I wanted to know was this. Was he drinking? Yeah, he was drinking. I said, oh, good then.
He said good.
I said, good. I said, taking his medication. I said, he'll win tomorrow. But he's drinking. Believe me, that's his medication. So he'll win tomorrow. And after that, Frank and I talked about it. And he said, and he got that funny voice. Listen, man, I got to have a drink. I had to have a drink. I said, no, you got to have your medication. So those are things that you learn. And later on, I had a fighter who was alcoholic, was fighting, and I think it was out of Tennessee, fighting about Tennessee. We got to this 10-round fight, we got to the 6th round. And my fighter was winning, then he just cut off. The 7th round, he didn't do anything. He cut off. So I looked and I thought, I said, you know what? His mind is on, he need a drink. He need a drink. I said, give me that bottle with that water and bourbon in it. I said, open your mouth, son. Hit him with that water and bourbon. That joker woke up, went out there and knocked it out the next round. Now what has happened within 1 minute, Stacey? What happened in 1 minute, this guy had went to the bar and back. In his mind, he done went to the bar and come back. He ready to go now. Because he had his drink.
You got his medication, yeah.
So you got to know how to work with all of these type of guys, So with Rosario, you can't go in the ring the way you did the last time. Whatever the preparation was, you got to get away from that. You got to make a change. You can't do the same thing over. Okay? So make the change, whatever it is. You go up in weight class, or you get your weight down a lot sooner. Whatever it took, you got to change. You have to make a change. And then it's training our real good friends, and I'm gonna stress that to him also. You can't do the same thing, so you got to make a change.
Absolutely. To your point about the medication, it kind of reminds me of like these rappers when they go in the studio. They can't make music without marijuana. They gotta have weed before they go in the studio or while they're in the studio. Otherwise, they won't make any hit records.
Well, no, you talk about the marijuana. They go in the studios. They go in the marijuana. They go in the studios and they come out and make a hit record and everything's good because they smoking marijuana. Everybody's smoking marijuana now. I don't smoke it.
I know.
But everybody's smoking marijuana now. But you hit on something. You hit on something that you brought into the modern times. When you brought in the medication, you brought in. You talk about marijuana and music.
Yes.
Okay. Now let me take you back in time.
Okay.
You want to go back in time?
Let's go in the time machine.
You might start paying me some money, boy. Got me educating all these people. Let me go back in time.
Okay.
I ain't gonna call no names.
All right.
Okay. Back in time, there was musicians, right?
Mm-hmm.
The musicians, the ones that really went to another level, to a crazy level, in producing platinum records, hit after hit after hit after hit. People couldn't understand it. They couldn't understand, well, what is it? Why is this guy or this woman, why are all these platinum records coming out, these hits, these number ones? I mean, just want to boom, 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 boom. Because they were using medication. They was using medication, that's why. And at that time, the medication at that time was heroin. Okay? Then, when they found out the first couple were using medication, then the rest of them, a lot of the rest of them, they started using it too. And they said, oh, something is going on with this medication. So they used the medication, and then the record started popping out again. Boom, 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 boom. I don't want to tell you the musician's name, but if you do the history, you'll find out. And you say, oh my God, that's what was happening. They're not doing it now, but you kind of hit on it when you went up to say the musician is doing smoking marijuana.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, but there is some truth to what you're saying. You know, there's truth to what you're saying. Your mind is a hell of a thing. So back then, it was medication that they was using. You know, I mean all of the medication because the doctors use it in hospitals with different patients and stuff. But we're talking about on the streets. We call it drugs. But still medication is drug, but it's medication. It's not to be used for recreational, but they wasn't using for recreation. They were using for a performance enhancement back then.
Absolutely.
So you know, I could tell you some of them names, and you just read a lot of people.
I'll do my homework.
And you go like, oh my God, he was great. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's a strange thing, but yeah. So there's a lot to it. There's a lot to all this stuff. So Rosario gonna be all right. Lopez is gonna be all right, and boxing is gonna be all right. So you know, it's a hell of a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I'm glad we touched on my man Panama. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. to Panama Lewis. There was one.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT. We're at the Davy Powell, and you're watching True School Sports.